Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So for those of you guys who, for anybody really, always be aware of phishing scams like this one, guys. Coming from the Cointelegraph here, hackers sent fake ledger support emails claiming a breach to steal seed phrases. The phishing emails appeared legitimate by mimicking Ledger's email domain and redirecting users to a counterfeit website. So, they're getting very, very sophisticated now. If you do see, support at ledger.com, that's officially Ledger's domain name, but it looks as though these hackers are spoofing this now and trying to make these emails look more and more legitimate. Here is the article. The bogus email claims Ledger suffered a recent data breach, which is not true, and encourages recipients to verify their public seed phrases under the guise of needing to safeguard their assets. If anybody ever asks you for your seed phrase, remember, you don't have to give your that is never a thing. Ledger will never ask you for that. That is your personal seed phrase. Do not share that with anyone. The email leads to a Ledger branded website that appears legitimate and prompts visitors to verify your Ledger by falsely claiming to check if their device has been compromised. And I know some people will, click on this by accident and then go on Twitter and complain that Ledger stole their crypto. Guys, it's your fault. If you do something like this, it is your fault. And so this is why I, every now and then I like to bring this up as a public service announcement for my viewers. I personally have been using the same Ledger since 2017. Well, actually, I upgraded it once, and I did restore onto a new Ledger with my seed phrase. So essentially, it is safe. I've never personally had a problem with my Ledger device. And if you are investing a lot of money in cryptocurrency, maybe if you're not investing a couple of $1,000, but if you are investing, enough money that's down the road in 2025, if you think, okay, this is going to be life-changing money, I do strongly, strongly urge you to look into a cold wallet storage solution. I do personally have an affiliate link in the description of the video if you guys do want to use that. If you guys do want to use a Ledger, you can use my affiliate if you want. You do not have to use it. Basically, I just want to mention this because, guys, it's important. You don't want your cryptocurrency to be taken, especially not at this stage in the game when we're ready for that next leg up. So we got Bitcoin trading right now just in and around $102,000. I talked a little bit about the big market move this morning. If you guys didn't catch this morning's video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And XRP, as of the time of this recording, it's down a little bit. It was at about 240. Now it's about 238.5. But guys, really, the market is moving like this because this is where we're at. This sideways channel for XRP is not out of the ordinary, and we're likely going to see more of this moving forward. For more information on what I'm doing, what I'm trading this bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I'm trying to pinpoint the top. So for all my followers, you're going to get my minute-to-minute updates as soon as I make a move, okay? So whether it's an XRP target, if I'm cashing out, if I think, okay, Bitcoin's toppy and I'm going to cash out some of it there. And then there's the $15,000 plus portfolio that I'm also going to be cashing out in 2025. So that's patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you're interested. More news coming from the SEC, guys. Eleanor Turret here posting this. So a meeting with staffers for SEC Commissioners Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda this week. The Digital Chamber of Commerce's Token Alliance included denouncing the 2018 Hinman speech as a day one priority for the Corporation of Finance Division, citing the lack of relevance to the Howey test, creating market confusion and improperly creating a winner-loser dynamic. So it's looking as though they're going to denounce the Hinman speech as one of their top priorities. Donald Trump is going to lay out the groundwork. He's got a good team behind him who's pro-crypto. This is going to be like a new United States of America. The last 4 years when it came to crypto adoption, and I feel like we could have gotten a lot further between 2020 and 2024 had we just had the right people in there. And, the rest of the world has just been taking off with this technology. It's not like the technology didn't exist, and it's not like we didn't want it to happen. But alas, here we are. Luckily for us, this is now at least we have something to look forward to, right? So here's some of the topics that are going to be covered: corporate finance, trading and markets enforcement, investment management, and OCA. And this is day one, okay? The interim chair, okay, Paul Atkins, needs to issue clear public statements, resetting the SEC's relationship with the digital asset market participants, setting out the SEC's priorities associated with blockchain tech and digital assets, and start the process of regaining the trust of the global digital asset community. The next step is redirecting each SEC division to prioritize and allocate resources to address the following action items. And I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested. Wanted to thank Eleanor Turret for posting that. When I say that innovation around the world has been ramping up, I mean, these are already considered, I guess, old Ripple partners like MoneyTap. They joined in a venture with SBI and Ripple to create a payment app. It runs on Ripple and is XRP enabled in select corridors. What have they been up to this year? Well, Wrath Economin is giving us a tweet thread just to kind of highlight what they've been doing. Here are 5 banks from 2024 now using MoneyTap, and one from last fall for good measure. Also note SBI is reporting cumulative international remittances of more than $13 billion US for the year. So you guys can see that there. Some of the banks, many are Japanese banks. Ueda Shinkin, Suwa Shinkin Bank, Nonomi Shinkin Bank, SBI Remit, of course, and some others here like Lida Shinkin Bank. So there's some details there. Some might compare the 200 plus Shinkin banks to a kind of co-op credit union, but they are much larger than U.S. credit unions, serving communities, SMEs, and working with the Shinkin Central Bank for liquidity management. They play an important role in Japan's banking industry. So for more details, SBI Holdings is the parent company. Initially, MoneyTap was launched by SBI Asia. MoneyTap was incorporated as a separate entity, becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of SBI Holdings. In 2021, Ripple then acquired 33% of that subsidiary. MoneyTap's courtship of 6 banks bodes well. They represent a diverse geographical region with urban and rural areas. And you guys can see here, there's the MoneyTap QR code that you just have to, I guess, in this particular store, you just have to scan that to pay. He goes on to say you can check with the PR below. Apologies if I misrepresented Shinkin banks as I learn across the ocean. Note there were some bumps with coins.ph. And anyway, he lists here the updates along with all the supporting evidence there. So great news from the Wrath Economin, just giving us a bit of an update on one of Ripple's older partners, that being MoneyTap. Now, one of the bigger partners, Temenos. Today, they just announced that AHAM Capital has selected Temenos Multi-Funds Global Accounting to deliver SaaS to drive scalable automation and future growth in the Malaysian market. This courtesy of Michael Branch here, guys. So Temenos Multi-Funds was selected after a rigorous evaluation process and detailed a proof of concept, recognizing multi-funds as the best solution to support AHAM's growth over the long term. I don't like saying that. AHAM, that doesn't flow off the tongue at all. Using multi-funds, will be able to automate its end-to-end operations with a multi-asset and multi-currency solution. Temenos Multi-Funds can now support this company's traditional business while at the same time supporting Islamic funds in accordance with Sharia standards. Now, interesting to note there, XRP is a Sharia compliant cryptocurrency. So I guess it is a benefit that Temenos is XRP enabled. So they're going to be expanding this out. The solution will allow AHAM to benefit from the flexibility offered by a cloud-based deployment and full management of the application, removing the need to maintain software in-house. So making it kind of a one-stop shop. Of course, Temenos has been very successful at integrating a lot of these smaller companies, bringing them into the fold and keeping them up to date on their technology. I also happen to see this from another update from Temenos. Temenos Bank can now launch digital asset services within days following an integration with Taurus. So Taurus was founded in 2018. They provide enterprise-grade digital asset infrastructure to issue, custody, and trade digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies, tokenized assets, NFTs, and digital currencies. The firm has already won the backing and support of a host of financial institutions, including Deutsche Bank, Cassis, Credit Suisse, State Street, and Arab Bank in Switzerland. The integration with Temenos now puts the technology within reach of many more financial institutions. So that's exactly what is going to benefit the entire ecosystem, right? When more people have access to the technology, the interoperability is going to help money flow further and a lot more seamlessly. This is why interoperability was so important at the beginning. This is why the XRPL is interoperable and why Ripple has made a point, specifically to tell banks, okay, this is an interoperable solution. We're ISO 20022 compatible, all the positive things there that go along with that. So it allows banks to launch full-scale digital asset services with fast time to market, days or weeks, says the vendor, and at a fraction of the cost that they would have incurred otherwise. Here's a quote: "The deep integration with Taurus provides banks with the infrastructure needed to quickly quickly and efficiently launch digital asset services, and by providing a fully integrated system, we're enabling our customers to offer digital assets alongside their traditional services, reducing complexity and lowering the barriers to entry. This was another point Ripple had been hitting home from the beginning. The democratizing of these types of cross-border payments, right? The big banks had a monopoly in the beginning, and now they just don't because the technology is available, and now anybody can pretty much start up one of these companies where they can send money seamlessly using DLT technology. In this case, leveraging the XRPL to perform some of these tasks. And again, it's not exclusively just cross-border payments. The XRP Ledger DLT technology can do so much more, tokenizing everything, right? Anyway, some more great news there from Temenos. I wanted to thank Michael for posting that. XRP Crypto Wolf guys also bringing this to our attention. Now, David Schwartz chimed in on a bit of a debate in response to a question posted by a user on X. Ripple's chief technology officer recently addressed the XRP Ledger's scalability in terms of TPS transactions per second. Chad, the other day, he did ask a question over here, and I'm just going to pull up the tweet just for reference here. So Chad asked, Mr. Katz, is it still a true statement by Forbes that the XRP Ledger, through optimization, can potentially scale up to 50,000 transactions per second? Because now we do know the official number was only 1,500 transactions per second, but they're saying, they're claiming that it is up to 50,000 transactions per second. And what would be the most likely real-world cause of hitting said theoretical limit? Well, David Schwartz, aka Joel Katz, did respond to this. He says it's not hard to imagine that future improvements in CPUs, storage, networking, and internal architecture raises the potential TPS to those kinds of levels. But let's get real for a minute. TPS is great for bragging about, and it's also great to have spare TPS because that means you can implement computationally intensive features. For example, if the XRP Ledger was at its computational limit, we could not have added the AMM, and if it was at its limit now, we could not add any programmability. So headroom is necessary for evolution. That is an interesting concept there because we don't think of that, right? 1,500 transactions per second, maybe they're boasting about that because they know it can actually do 50,000, but in order to keep building on the XRP Ledger, they do need to have that headroom, as David Schwartz puts it here. But actually running a layer 1 at high TPS levels has severe drawbacks. It increases everybody's cost for bandwidth, storage, and computational power. If that happens, more people won't get enough value out of running a node, and node counts will drop. More people will have to trust someone else's node, reducing decentralization. So some interesting points here from David Schwartz. So not necessarily suggesting that this is fake news, 50,000 transactions per second, but saying, we do need headroom. We do need to make sure that the XRPL runs smoothly. Of course, they do continue to plan on building on the XRP Ledger. So, to me, all this makes sense, and I'm happy for the clarification. So wanted to thank, of course, Joel Katz and Chad there for posting that. I say all this because there are big plans behind the scene. We're just starting to see the build, guys. But can there be larger plans? And I think there can be. This coming from Anders. Larger plans behind the scene related to the newly released USD stablecoin by Ripple, the RLUSD. We can only speculate who Bearableguy is, but I noticed that in Lodestar 1, released in late 2018, here's what he wrote, guys. And I have Lodestar 1 up here. And it's interesting that he did mention this way back then. I will link all this in the description of the video for you guys. But Anders here reposts it. Ripple is always in the news, always in the mind's eye of the financial world, always in conversations in the white halls of power when it comes to funds and new technology. JK. I believe JK refers to Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. Now remember, he wrote this in 2018. And Jared Kushner was, he's pals with Ken Kurson. Ken Kurson, if you guys don't remember, used to be on the board at Ripple until he was removed. And there was a bit of a strange reason for that. I did report on this 4 years ago, back in October of 2020. Listen to this. Strange news coming out today. This from CoinDesk. Now, some call it FUDdesk, and I am not necessarily in disagreement with that term. Here's what they had to report. Ripple board member Ken Kurson was arrested Friday and charged with cyberstalking in connection with his divorce, the New York Times has reported. So this is reported from CoinDesk. Of course, CoinDesk is a cryptocurrency-centric outlet for news and media. Let me read you this article here because Ken Kurson also is a Trump family friend and Ripple board member, and he's charged on cyber stalking. So they've found evidence that Kurson engaged in installing software on someone's computer to monitor keystrokes and reporting false accusations to someone's employer. The complaint reads, according to the Times, the accusations reportedly came to light during a routine background check of Kurson for a board seat on the National Endowment for the Humanities. Kurson served as the editor-in-chief of the New York Observer when Kushner owned it. A request for comment from Ripple was not immediately returned. Now, the fact that Ken Kurson, first of all, let's talk about this for a second, has ties with the Trump family through Jared Kushner and is on the Ripple board, I think speaks volumes to where we are going to see Ripple and XRP move in the future. That aside, though, okay, because I think that is the more interesting piece of news here. That aside, though, CoinDesk is obviously calling out Ken Kurson and suggesting, look, this is a tie with Ripple. And this guy was just arrested. Now, Galgatron down here saying this just in, PayPal enters crypto, Ripple relocating, Bitcoin booming, and then there's CoinDesk. How's that for bottom feeder sludge taste? CoinDesk has always had a reputation when it comes to, reporting news on Ripple and XRP. I think they may have changed their ways since then. But let's get back to this for a second, guys, because I never considered this. So Anders saying, JK, referring to Jared Kushner, now we do have Trump in the White House again. This was during Trump's first administration. Jared Kushner was an advisor to Trump. He had interest in cryptocurrencies, and it was later on reported that he tried to pitch the idea of a digital dollar. Ken Kurson was a board member for a time and a family friend of the Trump family. So we have a clear personal contact here. Ken Kurson was later on pardoned by Trump after cyber stalking charges to his ex, so he was pardoned. He is no longer on the Ripple board, though. To me, it seems obvious that Ripple would try to pitch the XRP ledger in order to launch a digital dollar as a issued currency there. There would have been technology to expand US dollar usage around the world while massively reducing inefficiencies while also having a full cross-border payment system to support it. We also have Ripple opening up an office in Washington, D.C. and adding a couple of people with White House, Federal Reserve, and U.S. Treasury connections to their board of directors around this time. Let's not forget Rosie Rios, 43rd Treasurer of the United States, joined the Ripple board in early 2021, just a few months after the SEC lawsuit launched. It seems Jared Kushner tried to pitch the U.S. launching a CBDC, but I personally don't believe those plans could move forward because there would be a strong backlash by the public against such an instrument being launched by the government. One option would be left, right? The launch of a CBDC in order to take the U.S. dollar to the next level. Well, of course, a public USD stablecoin or supporting different initiatives launching USD stablecoins, that's not clear to me. But I find the timing of RLUSD very suspicious just after Trump won the U.S. presidential elections, and now Trump is talking about supporting U.S.-based crypto companies and U.S.-issued cryptocurrencies while also talking about a continuation of U.S. dollar dominance. So, I mean, Anders, it all makes sense. I'm on board with you, buddy. It totally makes sense. Now that we have Trump back in, we can revisit all these things that were coming up back between 2016 and 2020 when Trump was in office the first time. We can also look at the heavyweights being added to RLUSD board of directors like Sheila Bair. So now this is current, right? Sheila Bair, former chair of the FDIC. We also have Raghuram Rajan, former governor from the Bank of India, Kent Montgomery, former COO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. You don't see this on boards for any other crypto companies in the industry, and that is very true. Is it all just a coincidence, or is there something going on behind the scenes? Things that certainly make me go, But that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys have any other opinions about this. Please do put it down in the comment section. I will link everything down in the description of the video. I'm getting really excited for January and the inauguration. And oh yeah, December 24th is coming up. Maybe we'll get another Bearable Guy riddle tableau soon. Again, just my opinion, and for more information on what I'm doing this bull run, where my targets are going to be, I'm trading XRP. I'm keeping some of it too. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Again, just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.